It's a new day, Noonan. Yes, it is. Oh, gosh. I just went cruggety voiced. I did something today. I went to Wendy's, the one across from the Noonan Walmart. Shout out to the pharmacy there. I love them babies. And my favorite soda is the Coke Freestyle machine, Coke Zero with lime. And you can only get it at places with a Coke Freestyle machine. So I go to Wendy's, I bring my laptop, and I just sit there. And I'm pounding Coke Zero with lime while typing articles on my laptop for Harold. I'm just pounding it. I went through 5 cups, medium-sized cups with ice of Coke Zero with lime. So I am feeling sleepy. I'm very tired. I'm a bipolar person. I have bipolar. I'm actually diagnosed bipolar. I'm not just like someone who gets angry sometimes and goes, "Oh, I bet I have bipolar, everybody." Like, I got diagnosed a couple years back after bad things happened. And I'm on a crash, y'all. My manic episode is over and done with. I am crashing. I just want to sleep all the time. And I'm trying not to. If I stay busy and I get out of the house and I talk, I cannot sleep. But golly, do I want to sleep. So bad. So I might go take a nap after this. It's 3 p.m. on a Thursday, and all I want to do is sleep. Anyways, today's episode, we're continuing playing episodes that other people have created. This is the Masculine Revolution podcast interview with Noonan Time with Harold. You can find them all over the internet. Just met these guys when I did this interview, so look them up, try to find them, enjoy them if you can. I say if you can. Some people just don't like podcasts. But if you like podcasts, they're smart people. They're very welcoming. But until I start feeling more like myself, I'm going to be pulling other people's audio, with permission, of course, and playing that as your podcast episodes. Trying to be the Harold you need me to be world. But boy, oh boy, am I sleepy. Anyways, you can find me at NoonanTimeWithHarold.com, Noonan Podcast with Harold, High Spirits Entertainment to book me for doing different things, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. We have a merch store at Zazzle.com, then search Noonan Time with Harold. You can find me on Cameo, Noonan Time with Harold. Just a bunch of stuff. But right now, please enjoy this audio from an interview I did with the Masculine Revolution podcast. I hope you enjoy it. And I hope you enjoy me, especially, because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. You put your left hand in, you put your left hand out, you put your left hand in, and that's what it's all about. You do the hokey pokey, because that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about.
Welcome to the Masculine Revolution, hosted by Jeremy Brown and myself, Murphy G. This is episode number 63 with Noonan Times with Harold.
Yeah, baby, what's up?
What's going on, man? You doing all
I'm
right?
sitting here. Did you guys publicly talk about how early in the morning you guys do this podcast?
Yeah.
Because that is so silly. It's 5. No, it's 6. All right, 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
We're rolling.
It's not too early.
It's not as early as it felt. It felt at 5 a.m. when I woke up, and I was like, I'm going to wake up to go meet some strange men up in a room. Sounds weird, right?
It does.
Then you do it, it's all right. So far, not too bad. Not too bad. We good. We safe.
Yeah. We're safe around here, but just early, you know?
That's true.
Yeah. Appreciate you coming on, man, making it.
I love it. I'll go anywhere somebody invites me.
I heard that. Yeah, super enjoy your content. It's always funny to watch you come up with. I think watching the interviews you did with the mayors was hilarious.
I personally believe that without that, no one would have even voted this last time. And I've been told that by plenty of people. They're like, yeah, you influenced the election, right?
Oh,
and I was
yeah.
like, accidentally. Yeah. That was me. Whoops.
That's what's up.
Sorry.
Yeah, Candyland was hilarious.
Really? See,
Yeah.
that one was so boring for me personally. It was painful to
Well,
try
it was just
an old man Candyland while also trying to interview him.
The fact that he didn't win anything.
Yeah, he lost
it was
every
like he just kept
game.
getting terrible cards. It was hilarious.
It was an omen because then he lost the election. It was
Yeah.
Candyland predicted
See,
Brady's future.
that's your influence.
Right. I don't know the
Candyland.
power of Candyland.
Yeah. So yeah, let's start with kind of what made you start with the parody page. And
Well, firstly, for people who don't know who I am, my name is Noonan Time. Oh, my jacket's coming off. Noonan Time with Harold. I run a parody page, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, podcast about Noonan that makes fun of, not makes fun of is not the right way to word it, plays around with the Noonan Times Herald name. Website, we have a store, we have a secret book club that I haven't told anybody about, that you just have to find a book and find me and we'll read a book together. So if you walk around Noonan and you see me, be like, hey, what book you reading? I'm like, come find out. Secret book club. Just made that up right now. Pretty good, right?
Yeah.
Secret book club. Facebook, Instagram, website, NoonanTimeWithHarold.com. What made me come up with this idea was it was summer of COVID. So what was that, 2020? That sound right?
yeah,
2020, which was also the summer of the Black Lives Matter protests. And Noonan was getting hit bad with that. There's a group that probably had like 50 to 100 people walking the square every weeknight, just in protest of the George Floyd stuff. And it started out pretty peaceful. I would go there and I would stream it and stuff with my older brother. And there's one day in particular where the lady leading the protest told the group that there was a racist cop that worked for Noonan, and they went and they kind of cornered him. Not cornered him's not the right word. He was already standing against the corner. They surrounded him and started calling him a racist cop and stuff. And so tensions were just really, really high. They went to the city hall and got into a little bit of a beef with Mayor Brady at the time, and they were arguing back and forth. So things just were not fun for Noonan. It was a very tough time with COVID and the Black Lives Matter things. And I noticed that Clay and the Noonan Times Herald were there for most of the stuff, covering things. They asked me and my wife at the time a couple of questions about, why do you bring your kid to protest sometimes? So things were just like annoyingly tense. And I was like, somebody needs to do something funny. We just need a little bit of funny, a little bit of everyone can make fun of each other. Not everything is so serious. Let's just make fun of each other. And so just in thinking in that way and thinking of the Noonan Times Herald, I came up with Noonan Time with Harold, and it started off really, really small. My first Facebook page, I think it hit like 7,000 followers, and then Facebook deleted it because I was making jokes about COVID, and that's something you cannot do. Okay. You cannot do misinformation about COVID. So Facebook was like, no, you're out. So they deleted that, so I had to start over. Now we've started over. Now it's going pretty well. Now people don't realize how long this silly, dumb Facebook page has been around, but it's been deleted several times by Facebook. So I'm expecting it to get deleted again. I'll have to start over. Whatever. I'm not going anywhere. We're just going to keep doing this.
I heard that.
So,
and you're in rare form today without the mustache.
Whoa! Spoilers! I shaved this morning. I shave sometimes before I go out. It just depends on what day. And the weird thing is, I can just like go into my backpack and the mustache will come back. It just grows really quick.
Okay.
That's like the most questions I get are, what made you come up with this? And is your mustache not real? Like, those are the number one questions. I'm like, sorry to disappoint ladies, but I can't grow facial hair. I'm not man enough. I tried. This is it. This is the
That's
best
all you got.
This is the best. I have no chest hair, which I don't prove that.
Yeah,
But
you can stop there.
you're right. I got nothing. This is my arms. Look at that. I got Barbie arms. Can't grow hair.
Yeah.
Well, maybe you will after this episode.
Yeah, man, but I'm in a room. I mean, look at your guys' beards.
Yeah.
There's a kid back in the corner. He's got more facial hair than me. It's wild.
So tell us, what's the positive feedback on that you get from starting what you did?
Most of it is positive feedback because, and I try to explain this to people, the goal is not to make fun of people, and the goal is not to confuse people. You can't build a culture that way. You can't build a community that way. You can get a laugh that way, but you can't build a fan base, and you can't build people that want to keep working with you. That just comes from creativity and making friends, being polite. Like, the businesses that know me know that I'm going to help them at the end of the day. Like, just last night, I went to Below the Neck under Redneck Gourmet, and they were doing a comedy show, and they haven't had great attendance for it. So I was like, hey, I'll just go there and I'll live stream it, and I'll help you guys out. And I ended up getting them, I think last I looked, we were like 1,100 views for this thing that they usually don't get anybody to see, just because I streamed it online. I talked to the owners, like, hey, I really appreciate you doing that. I was like, yeah, if you need help with things, they'll just help the community and help your business. just let me know. That's all my goal is to just do fun stuff that nobody else is doing with the businesses. So the people who actually get to know me, tons of positive stuff. Great stuff. I've seen businesses go, like, just seeing like the mayor we have now, because I met him when he was like, yeah, hey, can I come over to your house and do your podcast? I'm this timid dude and I don't know if I'll win or not, but I hope I get to win. And to what he is now, where he's the mayor, like, it's just been cool to see these people who are like, they understand how to use my platform and I understand how to make people look good. So it's fun when I can work together with the actual businesses and something good comes out of it versus like, it's fun, but it's not as much fun when it's just some old lady who's mad on the internet.
Yeah.
Who's like, what you post is not true. Like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
That's good for a laugh, but that's not how you build a community.
Right.
So I'm trying to build a community off people with a good sense of humor and creativity because Noonan doesn't have that.
Yeah. I like it. I like it.
Yeah, I would say, I mean, you could definitely tell. I mean, just with the mayor race, like, you know, it was kind of tense. And I feel like the interviews that you did, like, really allowed it to be, like, more of a community thing because, like, watching the first debates, they were kind of like going at each other and stuff like that. And
It felt
then,
like a debate.
that's what I'm saying. It was like, but watching them do your interviews and stuff, like, it just made it feel like more of, you know, communal, I guess.
Yeah, human, I think.
Yes.
Showed them as not
Human, for
just
sure.
politicians. It was like, hey, these are actual just normal dudes.
Exactly.
Like, I had the most fun just hanging out at Danny Beck's house before we did it. You guys got to meet Danny and stuff.
Yeah.
He's real personal.
Yeah.
He's really fun.
I like Danny a
He'll
lot.
just talk.
Yeah.
He'll ask about my life. Like, oh, how's your kid? And I'm like, oh, hey, Danny, how you doing, buddy? He asked me to like, he's always like, hey, let me buy you dinner. I'm like, no, Danny, I'm going to go home. So we'll spend like 2 hours together working on a podcast and be like, oh, let's go to lunch or dinner. I'm like, no, you're fun, but there's other life. Sorry, buddy. So I love that kind of stuff. That stuff is fun to see all this side of the community that's usually just really serious and boring.
Yeah.
I get
absolutely.
bored easily. That's where it comes from.
Yeah. Have you always had a passion for making folks laugh?
Yeah. I got my first video camera when I was like 12 years old. So I was like a reserved Southern Baptist homeschool kid to just be given a video camera. It's like, all right, go make movies, go be creative. It's like, all right, cool. So I would just make movies all the time. And then I got into acting. I've done professional acting up in Atlanta. I got really big into improv. I'm an improv director. I've been a professional improv director for 15 years. I used to direct at the Noonan Theater Company. Now I direct in Fairburn over at Southside Theater Guild. So like I don't really do, like, I don't do live music. I've never gotten into like being in a band, a live band. But besides that, I get into all the arts. And I can't dance, so I'm a terrible dancer. So those two things I don't do. I don't sing and I don't dance, but everything else, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know if mustache, gave you superpowers where you could
I wish.
break it down.
It gives me confidence, but not that much confidence. I could do like what the guys do at the club, where you just bounce your hand.
Yeah,
and the
yeah.
girl does all the work. and
Yeah.
this is it. This is all the guys do.
Uh-huh.
I can do that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I'm in the same seat, so I understand. I
Yeah.
can relate.
Just a little bounce to it. That's all.
It's a little bounce. I'm at the Alamo, just yeah. Go shouty.
For sure.
So you said you used to work at the Noonan Theater?
I sure did.
Okay. So you doing like plays and stuff like that?
Yeah,
or-
I started out there as an actor, and then I started directing there. Then they gave me the improv troupe. They have an improv troupe over there. They let me be in charge of that. I started writing their murder mysteries. So they do one murder mystery a year. I don't know if they still do it. I'm not over there anymore. I got divorced, and during the divorce, you know how the wife and the husband get the different things. She got the theater, so it was like, all right, if everyone's going to take her side sounds bad, but she was like, she needed the theater more at the time than I did. So I was like, all right, I won't bother the theater at all. So since then, I haven't touched that place really. But yeah, the big thing I did over there was I wrote murder mysteries. And my murder mysteries are like improvised murder mysteries. So it's not like a script. It's like a story and characters. And I suggest what the cast says, but I don't tell them what to say. So it's a big improvised play, basically.
Cool.
That's my big thing in the arts of plays and stuff. So I like to write improvised plays versus plays, which doesn't sound like it's any writing. You just
So
put
you
two
just like
people going to
a general, like the big picture idea, and then
yeah,
they
big
just kind
picture idea and the flow of things, and at what point do we borrow from the audience, and what point do we trust ourselves, that kind of stuff.
Gotcha. You got any shows coming up at the other?
I do. March 7th.
March 7th.
So I don't know when this comes out. I don't know if this comes out before March 7th. But March 7th, it is an improvised musical. It's called Improv Island. It's a concept I came up with. So my cast is going to be stranded on a secret island, and it'll also be a musical, and it'll also be improvised. So they have to make up songs. I'll be up in the booth. I'll be hitting musical tracks, and they'll have to sing and dance.
That's got to be another added layer to the improv.
You can sing some, so you get it a little bit. Yeah. I'm assuming you know how to freestyle.
A little bit. I'm mostly writing. When it comes to the freestyles.
But these are like people from like, oh, here's a 19-year-old art school girl to here's a grandma. So it's just this huge cast of people that are like rapping together on stage.
That's awesome.
Because I told them to. I'm like, all right, guys, rap together. It's like, yeah.
Yeah.
My kind of art.
Yeah. That's pretty unique, man.
That is. It's super cool.
And that's the kind of stuff that I try to, bring into Noonan. That's what I want to see more of. More is like, we've got the most live music, plenty of live music, which live music's fine. But I'm trying to get the weird stuff.
I just wish we had a better like music venue.
You wish we had a better music venue? Every venue's a music venue.
I know, but I'm saying like, I just wish we had like.
How good does it need to be?
Top notch.
You want like a Trilithon or something?
Yeah, something like that.
No, we have plenty of music. Do you go to the reserve? The Line Creek?
It's all like one vein of music though.
Oh yeah.
That's what I mean. Somewhere that like,
that's what you mean. Yeah.
Like somewhere that they had other
diversity of.
Yeah, they play the same.
Yeah, it's
a lot of the same people, which is nothing wrong with. I'm not like hating on it. I'm just saying I just wish there was like a bigger music scene, I guess. And
they do that Porch Fest thing. I don't know if you saw it last year, where they do like a huge musical day and they scatter across all of Noonan. There's all these bands, and when they do that, it's a little bit more variety. But even then, it's country, rock,
southern rock,
singer songwriter.
Right.
That's about it. You're not gonna get a rapper up there.
Right.
Yeah. Which we should.
We should.
Yeah. Maybe I'll start a rap show. Harold's rap and trap.
Waiting on you, Murph.
Yeah. Waiting on me.
If I drop a beat, will you freestyle?
Not likely.
That wasn't a no, though. That was a not likely.
I mean, if it's just like an insane beat, I might have to.
Oh, I cannot drop it. Can you beatbox?
You don't know me.
I don't know you.
Yeah. No, there ain't no beatboxing.
It's called confidence.
Yeah.
You do anything once.
Yeah, that's true.
You don't know if it's brave or stupid until you've tried it.
That's
So if it turns out well, that was bravery.
Some words to live by right there.
If it's not any good, that was stupid.
Yeah.
That's truth. That's truth.
Yeah.
So why comedy?
Dang, that's the first time I've gotten that question. Cool.
Wow. Well, check that out.
At the core of me is a this can be a serious podcast too, right? I've heard some episodes. Like I've been suicidal since I was probably like 19, in and out of situations, 3 or 4 attempts, lots of doctors, lots of medicines, all that kind of stuff. So for me, it's just been sort of I don't know, it feels like it's not even an option. It's got to be comedy. There's got to be something to laugh about, or else like things start getting dark and scary. So yeah, since 19, 20, I got diagnosed as a type 1 diabetic in my early 20s too. So it's just been, I spend most of the time taking care of like my mental health, taking care of my physical health. And then the times where I'm not doing that, I'm stressing about the next time I have to take care of it. So the one thing to offset that would be comedy.
Yeah.
So
it's a form of treatment and medicine for yourself.
Yeah. It's what it is. Like I don't really get into what if I'm watching TV, I'm watching something funny. If I'm listening to something, I'm listening to energetic music, or I'm listening to a funny podcast. Like it's just comedy 24/7, which can be really annoying for like my girlfriend when she's like trying to have a serious talk or something. I'm like, oh yeah, I can switch, just not as well. I prefer to keep things pretty silly most of the time, because I'm worried that if I don't, I'm gonna die. So that's where my brain goes. It's like, all right, we gotta laugh, we gotta have a good time.
So how long did it take you to kind of put those connect those dots together, where you kind of figured out, hey, comedy is a good tactic for myself?
Probably like mid-20s. I got put in a good situation because I got diagnosed with diabetes, and I was in a situation at the time, I was married at the time, where I didn't have to work, where it was like, hey, you're sick, you got to figure out how to take care of yourself. Hey, you're depressed. Hey, you got some suicidal tendencies. Stop working, take care of yourself, lay in bed all day if you need to, just figure something out so you can stick around. So I was blessed to have a couple of years in my life where I was like the stay-at-home dad. I was raising my daughter. And when you're raising a little girl, you learn to be funny pretty quick. That's, I mean, I don't know if you guys have kids, but that's what you do with kids. If you can be funny with the kid, you can get them to do pretty much anything. That's what most parents, that's a disconnect I think most parents have. Like, if you can make your kid laugh, they're going to listen to anything you say. In my experience, if they're smiling, they want to keep smiling and they want to keep laughing. And if they associate, hey, I will be able to laugh and have fun with my parent, I'm going to listen to them. 9 times out of 10, that works better than discipline, scary, fear. So just raising a little girl by myself with nothing else to do, just told me, you know, that's sort of where I fell into, man, funny is the thing. This works. People connect to it, even if it's my own kid. So I kind of just like kept it going. Like, and at that time I was writing rap music. It was terrible. You know, it was all comedy based. Like, I wrote a 16-minute song called My Girlfriend is a Cup. And it's just like puns about your girlfriend being a cup, which most of the lyrics I can't sing here, but it's on YouTube. If you go to YouTube and search My GF is a Cup, you'll find a 16-minute long rap song by me of just puns about my girlfriend being a cup. And it ended up going really well. I performed it at somebody's wedding. He was a big fan of it. They're like, oh, can we do My Girlfriend is a Cup song? I was like, yeah, I got you. So I like officiated the wedding. I was like a minister. And then 30 minutes later, I'm rapping, my GF is a CUP. So I just do stuff.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, if it makes me laugh, there's a good chance it's going to make somebody else laugh. And so most of the time, sometimes it doesn't. That's like one of the things with Harold is people are like, oh, the stuff you post is so funny. And I'm like, not really. If you go through and you look, most of the time it's not funny. And I'm the only one who thinks it's funny and 4 people react to it. Every now and then something blows up, but it's very much a quantity over quality. If I have an idea, I write it and I post it. Most of the time, nobody thinks it's funny, and I'm laughing. And I'm like, "This is the greatest joke I've ever written." And everyone else is like, "What? This is terrible." I'm like, "What? You guys don't know what you're talking about." So I just keep trying, just keep shooting shots.
How old's your daughter now?
She is 12 years old.
Okay. What now that you've been in that rhythm with her and using, you know, comedy as a tool, what strengths have you seen develop out of her from that?
Her confidence is insane. Too confident. Like, as a 12-year-old, you want them to be like, there's some magic of when they come to you and they're like, Dad, I'm not sure. Can I get your advice? My kid does not do that. My kid is, I got this. I'm funny, and everybody loves her. She's incapable of being bullied because she is so confident. Like, she'll come on and be like, oh yeah, this kid called me this, and this kid made fun of this. I'm just like, yeah, whatever, bro. She's a wall when it comes to bullying, which I think is awesome because she's learned how to just laugh it off and move on. It's helped her get through. Like, the divorce I went through it wasn't terrible. Like, some people go through divorces that last, 4 years and it destroys, and the kid has to choose which side. Mine wasn't that bad. It wasn't good, but it wasn't that bad. And it definitely helped her cope with that. She was able to get creative and make videos herself and start funny YouTube channels and stuff that she's seen me do. She loves the fact that I'm Harold. Like, if somebody finds out that I'm Harold, her teachers know who I am. She's like, yeah, that's my dad. She walked in the parade with me when I did the Christmas parade. So it's like me, James Shepard, the mayor, and then my daughter, and we're all wearing mustaches, handing them out. So it's like she loves that kind of stuff. So she thinks it's all awesome.
That's awesome.
So it's the confidence. It's the biggest thing. I think every guy wants to be funny. I think everybody wants to be funny. That's something that everybody wants. Like, at the core, we want to make people laugh, and if you can do that, it builds a big level of confidence that most people don't think about enough. Yeah,
having seen her like grow in that confidence, what has that done with just your mental health? Has it been rewarding? On like, man, I'm making a difference, and
I mean, she was the last time I got into a really dark place was about 2 summers ago. Like, I went to a motel, didn't tell anybody where I was going. I brought everything I needed to, like, not be alive anymore. Like, I was like, okay, I'm done with this. Her existing was the only thing that got me out of there. And that's been true for the last a lot of years. I mean, yeah. So her confidence in her, it's one of those situations where she would be devastated, and you can't talk yourself out of that when you're in a dark place. If you've ever been in a dark place where you're like, I've never been able to tell myself she'd be so much better off without me. And that's always been kind of like, and I'm glad I can't tell myself that. That's great.
Yeah.
That's always been like the wall. I can be like, oh yeah, my mom wouldn't really care. My brother wouldn't really care. My girlfriend wouldn't really care. She's always mad at me about something. Like, you get into this headspace where you start lying to you. But every time I got to my kid, it was like, nah, my kid would be real pissed. She don't want that to happen. So that's always been kind of like the thing that stopped it. So
Yeah, that's positive.
Yeah.
So you shared with us too, getting out of the mindset that things will never get better. Kind of walk me through that thought process.
I think I've been through a lot of therapists, good and bad therapists. And I have always had a hard time with the argument, because when you open up to somebody, usually the first thing you hear is, well, things are going to get better, right? And I don't know if I've ever subscribed to that being true. I think when somebody's in a really, really dark place and you tell them that, it feels dismissive and it feels unbelievable, because sometimes things don't always get better for the situations. Sometimes those situations just get a lot worse, because usually when you're sad and you're depressed or whatever, there's a plethora of things that are causing it. So just get that blanket statement of things are going to get better. Like, I've always hated that. I've always felt it was dismissive. I've always felt that it was positivity for positivity's sake versus any substance to it. I had a therapist told me, I found this amazing therapist. He was in downtown Newnan, and he passed away last summer. So if anybody's got a good therapist out there looking for therapists, or just a cool homeless guy who has some free time, which I'm assuming most of them have free time. But he told me that thinking about it and says things are always going to get better, it is not how he suggests thinking about it. He said think about it as things are going to change. That even if it's not something in your life changing, honestly, if something in your life changed today, some big thing, that might make a huge influence on everybody in this room right now. Maybe you got the best news you've ever gotten 15 minutes ago, and then you get here and you're in this extra positive way, and it makes you say something really positive that you hadn't thought before, and that inspires him, and then he goes home and he's inspired by it, and it inspires his kid. And so when we think about the fact of things are always going to get better, that makes us sit there and think something really good's going to happen to me. Something good's going to happen to me. And a lot of times it's just something good or something really bad happens to somebody else around you. And it's this ripple effect, and everyone's connected to everything. We're all connected to politics now. We're all connected. I mean, whatever team wins the Super Bowl somehow could trickle down and make a big difference in our lives. So I think sometimes it's just wait a little bit and see if something good happens for somebody else or something really bad happens for somebody else. Maybe the person that's been making your life miserable will go get a DUI, and then they'll have to go spend a month in jail. And hey, now your life's going to get a little bit better. Not because anything directly happening to you, just life is coming at everybody really, 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 really fast. So sometimes just be like, right now for me, I don't know what's going to happen. Things might not get better, but something different will happen. That's a guarantee. Something different's going to happen.
Yeah.
So that's the advice he gave me that has helped me a lot. Of different is better than being dead. Like, sit around thinking something better is going to happen. No guarantee, but something different is going to happen. And I would like to be around just to see what the different thing is.
Mm-hmm.
So that's been the most helpful for me. Is I want to see what different things are going to happen. I want to see who's going to be WWE World Champion next month. Just different stuff. I just want to be there for the different stuff.
Yeah. So have you kind of how do you portray that message on on like a daily practice?
And Harold, no, not really. I don't know if that's what you mean specifically.
No, just in your life, I mean,
Yeah.
whether you use Harold as a tool or something else, like how does that stay fresh?
When I do my interviews like this, I've done interviews with not our newspaper, but other newspapers. Like my first newspaper interview I ever did was with a Peachtree City newspaper. So that's kind of funny. Noonan won't write about me, but Peachtree City will. So, and I bring it up. I'm extremely open about my mental health struggles and stuff like that. So I've gotten more messages from men that are like, hey, I appreciate you talking about it because this is all really serious. And I'm sure you guys have gotten responses like that too, where they're like, hey, I'm not comfortable talking about this kind of thing. So it's really cool that you're talking about it. It's really helpful. Keep doing you, man. Like I get more messages from guys that are like, I really appreciate how open you are about your mental health than anything else I get. So again, I think you have to first show that you're somebody that can be trusted and is interesting before anyone cares about what you have to say. You can't just walk up. Like I think if I just walk up there and I grab a microphone and I go, hey guys, here's my advice on being in a bad mental health state and depression. It's like, all right, whatever. This is just a guy. We can get on TikTok and scroll 50 times and see these messages. You got to be a person that can connect to people. Like I hope somebody asked me recently, what's the hope with Harold? And I'm like, firstly, I have no idea. Just going to see what happens. But like, if there is some way to turn it into some kind of like a mental health thing that keeps people from like, that's connected to some kind of suicide awareness thing, I think it would be really difficult because it is comedy based. It would be tough for people to buy into the fact that I can do both really serious and really not. But right now it's just building individual relationships. So I think on the big scale, it's just funny nonsense jokes. But then every now and then I build these little individual relationships. Like I met a guy last night at Below the Neck who was having a really, really hard time. He's like, oh, I love your page. It's so good. This is like, and then he said, it's the one thing that makes me laugh during the week. Bam. Okay. Now you're in. There's your opening of he wants to be open. He wants to be vulnerable. Otherwise he wouldn't have said that. So that's the kind of cool stuff that you look for.
Yeah. Does it touch something inside of you as far as fulfillment, like in that category with like helping people such as that, like knowing that's taking place? And
it does. And I wish it did more. And I think that just comes from a place of my own mental health struggles and stuff. Like there's always a little bit of a disconnect to where like I've had people tell me, all right, yeah, I don't know if I'd be here if it wasn't for something you said or if you weren't there for me. And I wish that really made me feel really, really good. So I don't think it's because I'm a narcissistic a-hole. I think it's just because my own mental health, my own past just makes it where I have a hard time hearing those things. Like making somebody laugh, easy. I say something, you laugh. I'm like, all right, cool, instant gratification. Versus I talk to somebody who really opens up and they're like, yeah, I was at a really, really dark place. And thank you for talking to me that night. You really made a big difference. That's way harder to wrap your head around. So I have a hard time with it, but I'm getting better. I'm getting better at doing it. But it's definitely a harder thing to wrap my head around that. Like mental health stuff is lonely. It's hard when somebody wants to open up and try to bring you in and tell you that you helped. I have a hard time with it, but we're working on it. We're trying.
Yeah. How long do you think you've been struggling with that concept just in itself? How long is it taking you to kind of connect the dots to where it's like, hey, I'm actually like my passion and how I want to relate with people and create relationships is beginning to make a difference with folks and gain momentum, Yeah. And how long did it take you to kind of see that truth?
I've always been involved in like creative stuff, right? So before I started doing the Herald thing, I had a blog where I just wrote about, it's just called like, I don't remember, it was like Linton.com or whatever. And I just would write about, it would be like a funny look into the mind of somebody who was depressed and suicidal. And I did that for like 10 years. And that is really when it started coming, where guys would message me and stuff and be like, hey, it really means a lot that you're writing that kind of stuff. But at that point, they were just like these nameless, faceless internet people. It's different when you get into the community, and now it's some like some of these big politicians, and I won't name names, or big prince, like some of the conversations I've had with some of the principals around here, like people have an easy time opening up to me about the stuff that they're going through, and which is great. I love that about people. I try to make that for a safe spot. So just in the last couple of years, has it become like, I've always known that it exists and that it's something that I care about and it's something I'm passionate about, but it's just in the last 3 or 4 years that it's been like, okay, now there's these people and I know these people personally and I can see the faces and I know the stuff they're talking about because then I see all their stuff on Facebook. Like it's opened up to be a lot more real versus like I tried to do the, I did for a little bit the, where you're on the other side of the suicide hotline. So when somebody's wants to talk to you, they can text you. Like I was,
Right.
I did a little bit of where you're on the side of the person that is texting to try to help. And that's good. Like, but it's so different. It's just, you just see these texts. It's just text and you're following a formula, which the formula is proven to work and all that. I'm not saying to not, that text service has saved my life plenty of times. But it's very different when it's like these people that I'm sitting with and I'm learning from and are going to influence the whole community depending on what kind of moods they're in. It's definitely made it a bigger deal than it used to be for me.
Yeah. So explain to me, like, if I'm tracking where it's like you started off with kind of an internet presence that was just, pushing stuff to consume. And then there was a transition at some point where it still putting stuff out there that people can enjoy and partake in or whatever. But now you're kind of crossing the threshold of connecting with community and people in the community directly and trying to build face-to-face relationships. Mm-hmm. And those cross paths on the platform that you're using, but you're really gaining momentum with creating real relationships with real people instead of just having just random conversations. When you experience that, what has shifted mentally as that's as that's taking place and evolving?
Yeah. I guess it really because it just the two different things I do on the social media are very different. One is, here is this a parody joke about, let's say, Foundation Church was built on the wrong foundation and their building's crumbling. Terrible joke, but there you go. There's that. And then there's, hey, I sat down for 45 minutes with a small business owner who's going to end up crying in her interview as she opens up about all the things she's passionate about and tells you about it. Like, the two different things I do are very, very different. So sometimes I get confused about what my brand is. Is my brand a bunch of lies, a bunch of jokes, just trying to make people laugh? Or is it sit down, here's an intimate interview with Danny Beck where I make him go through a Rorschach test and he talks about his feelings. So it's like, what? Sometimes I don't even know what I am. That's part of the fun, because at the end of the day, it's just a silly Facebook page, whatever. I can experiment with it. It's my one life. Got to do it. So the transition, I don't know exactly when the transition started happening. It really hit when James Shepard, the current mayor, just messaged me and was like, hey, can I be on your podcast? I heard about it. And having him come in there and talking to him for 2 hours really kind of like put it on the map of, like, I wasn't planning on it being as personal as it is. So I like it more. Like, I like this part of it a lot more than I like just waking up and being like, all right, let me get on the Noonan Times Herald and the Cowitas Noonan Scanner traffic page. What are some real news stories? All right. Mr. Personality was actually Willy Wonka. LOL. And then the chocolate factory is in the basement of the Carnegie Library. Haha. So, like, I get way less fulfillment from that as I do doing things like this. Like, I'm doing this podcast. I have another podcast that there's a friend of mine who's trying to open another podcast in Noonan. He's like, yeah, I want you on the first episode. So I got to go do that. Then I have to go see my psychiatrist at 1:30 today. So I like this stuff a lot more, but it's not really, it's hard to figure out how much of this I can do while still being the thing that everybody follows. So I don't know if I'm just worrying too much about it. I should just do whatever I want. But this is the stuff I like. I like this stuff. I like doing the reviews of actual places. I like the interviews. I like the videos. That's way more fun and way more beneficial than here is a joke about a roundabout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So But again, it's hard. I mean, this doesn't always connect with people. A joke, people like to laugh. So
Yeah.
So I've been having a hard time in the last 6 months since I started talking to James Shepard of figuring out the balance of, because I also do I host trivia and I host stand-up comedy shows, and I'll go to the Porch Fest. They haven't announced this yet, so maybe I shouldn't say, but currently I'm supposed to host Porch Fest. That's coming up in May.
That'd be awesome.
That kind of stuff is all very, very different than a nameless, faceless person pretending to be the Noonan Times Herald making a joke.
Right.
So finding that balance is tough. I think I'm doing okay because we're still growing. The feedback I get is really good. But there are times where I'm like, I don't know. It makes it hard for, if I have something serious to say, is anybody even going to listen? Or they're just going to be like, oh, that's just that guy who makes jokes. Like during the mayoral race, somebody, one of the candidates was like, hey, you should endorse one of us. It would make a big deal. He didn't specifically say himself, but he wanted himself to get endorsed. And I was like, I don't think it would help. I think if I, with my page, endorse someone, they think I was joking, and they'd be like, okay, well, we're not voting for that guy.
Yeah.
So there's a tough balance that I'm hitting now of how much of the real personality versus how much of just jokes. So I'm kind of stuck.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure what to do.
Well, I mean, from you just sharing with me, I would say I would encourage you to I wouldn't necessarily use the language stuck. My encouragement would be you're learning and you're seeing an impact on both sides of the table. So both are positive, and so just continue the adventure and continue learning and, using the skills that, you were created with and make the impact, and not necessarily take the emphasis off of the expectation of, you want something in particular, and just from talking to you so far, I don't think you kind of live in that space,
No.
but the negative thought processes that are born in your head and you're thinking through, that's usually based off of inner feelings of, do I have what it takes, and am I making an impact?
Yeah.
And so, look at the facts and both sides of building a relationship and bringing, fun and making people laugh, they're a good team, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And so just keep going,
Yeah.
Keep going, man. I mean, that's the thing that I've learned just with relationships is, everybody kind of wants to be heard. I mean, it's just natural in our human condition. You kind of want to be like, hey, this is what I think. This is what I feel. I think that's normal. But when you choose to do the opposite and you say, okay, I'm going to put someone else's needs and desires above my own, and then you're the person who steps in and says, hey, I'm going to listen and I'm going to pay attention to actually what you're saying and care about it, then all of a sudden you get this totally different response where your natural instinct, you're like, it's almost like counterintuitive, where if you go with your natural instinct to just be like, hey, I want to make it about me, then you do that long enough, there isn't fulfillment. You're like, this doesn't feel right. But then when you counterintuitive and you're serving others and putting others before yourself, all of a sudden you receive something that you don't expect, which is, you create relationships and create community and you feel good, and you're like, well, this is working, and so 2 or 3 years, which is what you're saying as far as like, hey, I'm having a hard time connecting the dots with it. That ain't nothing, That's a short period of time. So, another 2, 3 years, 4 years, you get close to a decade of doing it. I think that's when substantial evidence of like being consistent with the passion that, God's given you inside of your heart, then you start seeing results. And I think that's the struggle with our society as a whole, at times is like, we don't give things enough time. We hurry things too much, and we want what we think is best, but most of the time what we think is best is not the best, because it's usually short-sighted because we want instant gratification, you know? And so, but if you play the long game, all of a sudden you begin to see that momentum roll out, you know? And so, the fact that you're transitioning from, you know, instead of just a focus on just, hey, I'm putting funny stuff out there online and it's just not relational. It's just trying to make people laugh. And you're making a transition where you're still doing that, which is a positive thing, but you're adding relation into it. Dude, it could be, you know, who knows what it can turn into.
Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm. That's kind of how I try it. Like my phone background is just always do it for your future self.
Yeah.
I sort of try to be where I think about things. Like I've had people come up to me just recently and like, hey, you should like, with all the relationships you're starting to build, you should try to join the Chamber of Commerce. And I'm like, what? For a silly Facebook page? Like there are things that I haven't even considered that you can still do over and new. Like, yeah, there's people that want to get to know you and they want to help your business and they want you to help their business. There's all these relationships you can build. And it's like, it's a very big shift from, man, I'm depressed and the Black Lives Matter and COVID are stressful, so I'm gonna make some jokes on the internet. Like it's definitely changed into something, which is like, I mean, it's exciting and I'm having fun. So I think if I'm having fun and other people are benefiting from it, every now and then I get feedback on it that bothers me, but for the most part, it's hilarious and fun and like I love that all the mayors hung out with me. Like that was great. No, people are like, they don't do that. And they're just real people. Yeah. So that was really cool to just meet them and hang out with them. Like these are just real guys that like Brady came with his wife. And he's so sweet with his wife and Danny's just laughing all the time. And then Shepard's so smart and so serious. Like they're just cool personalities. They're not just suits. So yeah, that's the kind of stuff I love.
Yeah. Yeah. That's cool, man.
Yeah. I mean, hearing you talk about all that stuff is like, it's so close to kind of the path that we took with Masculine Revolution and how it started and everything, as far as just times were really tense. And, you know, we wanted to focus on some positive stuff, some things that would help people. And I think like, that's probably like my favorite part about this podcast is sitting down with the different people and just like getting to know them personally. You know, I mean, like, to hear you talking about, you know, how much like suicide prevention and helping people through hard times, like, you know, it'd be hard to get that just from the you know, the jokes and stuff that are made. But like those kind of things, like meeting Danny Beck and like, just like you said, just like showing the human side and the people that come up and they're like, hey, really enjoy the content. You know, those are the things that like make it all worth it. You know what I mean? Regardless of if it's super popular or not, like, you know, the fact we like chose an intentional route and like, to me, that's the best part is the people, you know what I mean? Like that's the part that matters, you know, just the relationship part of it, you know, I mean, getting to meet you, like stuff like that just is inspiring. I mean, here you are facing, you know, these hard times, you're going through these mental health struggles, and then you turn around and use it for something positive. I mean, that's a great story. You know what I'm saying? That's an inspiration. So, you know, I appreciate you coming on and sharing that with us, man, for real.
Yeah. I mean, I'm open book about everything. I always have been. Don't have a shy bone in my body. I don't have any bones in my body. I made a Jello. Jello boy.
Are you red or green?
I'm colorblind, actually, so I don't know. Orange?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's the one thing that I've enjoyed the most about doing the podcast is like Murphy was saying, talking with an array of different personalities. But the cool thing is the seats that we get to sit in, like they'll come in and they'll share just like you're sharing and kind of like, hey, this is what my story is, right? But we get to be on the other side of the table where when you have conversations with a lot of people and they're just sharing kind of their stories, you begin to kind of see common denominators amongst the stories, you know? And so all of a sudden you realize that, like, you know, you and I are probably different in a lot of different ways, but then there's also a lot of ways that we're very similar, you know? And so it connects those dots for me personally, where I'm like, you know, it's easy in today's times to try to get pulled to one side or the other and make a choice. And that's where I've kind of seen, like, you know, yeah, you can have different perspectives and different views on particular topics, but like at the end of the day, like there are fundamental things that we as humans, like we're the same in. And if you can kind of connect on that level where you are common, then it's easier to begin to not necessarily like try to change each other's minds about those particular hot topics, but like it's just like you can embrace the other side of what that may be different from you, you know, and say, okay, well, yeah, you see that particular topic differently, but we also have similarities, you know? And that's, you know, I think that's like a massive thing that's needed in right now in our society is people coming together with the truth of, yeah, there's differences out there, but that's not a bad thing. You know, that's how God created us all. We all have different gifts and talents, different thoughts, different way we process things, different ways that we tackle, you know, just daily activities that everybody's got to go through. You know, everybody's got to wake up this morning. Everybody's wake up routine is different, but at the end of the day, everybody's getting up and doing something, you know, and so it's cool to see and be a part of those conversations where you get to kind of see that it's like, man, we really all have similar struggles. We have similar, you know, emotions in different scenarios, you know, and so it makes it to where you can connect, you know, easier. It has for me.
Yeah.
Have you had that kind of same effect?
Yeah, I feel like, I mean, compassion just grows the more I talk with people and realize that we all have like such similar struggles, although we might vocalize it different. Like, you know, you went comedy route. For me, like writing music was a huge way to deal with my feelings and stuff like that. And so it's like your outlet was to make a comedy joke about stuff. Mine was to like try to figure it out through writing lyrics, you know? And so it's like, that's what I'm saying though, but you know, you might see each other on the street and you might think, oh, we don't have that much in common. And then you sit down and talk with somebody and realize, oh, okay, you know, we just different venues or avenues for how we dealt with that. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, that's to me, like you gotta have to have a sense of humor, because if you turn on the news, it's like, I can't believe these people are leading the world right now. Like, just the way that people communicate with each other and leadership is nuts, you know? And you kind of have to like just have a sense of humor about it when you watch it, because if not, I mean, you just get bogged down. And I feel like that's what a lot of people do. They allow that stuff to infiltrate their mind, and then they get upset, and whatever hot topics on the news is something that matters to them. But it's like, you know, it's really community is the key to it all.
Yeah, that's one of the big things you hear all the time now is you're privileged or you're not paying attention if you're not really angry at everything going on.
It's like, man.
And that thought, thinking like that exhausts me.
Yeah.
The idea of you have, if you're not angry about this specific thing that I am angry about, you do not care, and we cannot connect it.
And there's a new thing to be angry about every day.
There's always
never
things
stops
to be angry about. You can find something somewhere to be angry about all the time.
Yeah.
But you're going to destroy your mental health that way. You're not going to have any energy to do anything positive for other things if all you're doing is getting angry. And right now, everything is about who is angry at the right things.
Right.
If you're angry at the right things and you're mad at the right things and you're angry enough at the right things, you can't just like be angry to the point where you ignore. You have to be angry enough to where you cuss about it, or you hate this right person. Yeah. Do you hate the right person, or do you like the wrong person? Like, everything is, so many relationships now are built on, do we hate the same thing?
Yeah.
And that is so exhausting. And I can't get into, I'm very much I can find something I like about every single person in the world.
Yeah.
And I say that and people get so frustrated. But I think everybody's got something they're really good at, and everybody's got something that they're struggling with, that if you can see it and acknowledge it and be like, hey, I see how hard you're working on this. You're doing a great job. If you can hit those two things, you're going to connect with somebody. That's how when I meet somebody, those are the two things I'm looking for. What are you doing great at right now? What's something you're trying to get great at? If I know those two things, I'm going to connect with you and we're going to get along. So that's what I look for anytime I meet people. Sometimes I can't find it. Sometimes it takes a long time to look at it and find it. But
have you found there's certain tactics that you use that help you discover that?
One of the other things that works for me, and I don't remember where I heard the advice. It's just when you think about charisma and building relationships is, for me, it works. It's say one more thing. So if you're in a situation where the expectation is, hey, how are you? Hi, I'm doing good. Conversation's over. You're in the elevator. You both nod to each other. You start going up. If you can think of one more thing to say that doesn't come across as creepy, obviously. I don't want to be like, you smell good. But just like you're in the elevator and you hit somebody with, what are you most excited for today? When you're in the elevator with them, okay, you thought of one more thing to say that the normal person is just ignoring everybody, so they don't want to say anything. That's going to open up something new. So don't be creepy about it, but think of one more thing to say in situations. If somebody's like, yeah, I'm having a really horrible time, I'm sorry to hear that. All right, that's regular. But if you can think of one more thing to say after that, it opens up to, like, there's what we expect in communication now because everybody's been talking for so long. We know, oh, I'm having a really bad day. Oh, I'm sorry, that sounds really hard. Expectation. You can think of one more thing to say that opens up a whole new level of charisma and connection that most people are too shy or too nervous to do because, I mean, yeah, sometimes if you come across creepy, it doesn't work. But if you can come across, if you can approach people with kindness and you just say one more thing than what the expectation is, sometimes they're taken aback and they're like, okay, whoa, I didn't expect, I'm just trying to be in the elevator. Why are you asking me about my day? But most of the time, 9 times out of 10, it does lead to that kind of thing where you get to start getting to know people. So that's my approach.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, man. Super appreciative of you coming so early and giving us this time, man, and opening up with us and sharing and stuff. You want to shout out all your handles and stuff?
Oh, yes, my handles. My handles. Who calls it handles? Okay, what is the handle? Yeah, Noonan Time with Harold on Facebook, Instagram, podcast, Noonan Podcast with Harold, YouTube. We have a shop. It's called Zazzle.com/Noonan Time with Harold. I have an Amazon wish list if you want to buy stuff that I can use for interviews. It gets used back in the community, all right? And there's a Switch 2 on there. I'm trying to get somebody to buy me a Switch 2. So go to Amazon, and I think you search wish list, and if you go to my website, Noonan Time with Harold, all the links are on there. I try to make sure I got lots of stuff planned every week. So if you want to do a video with me or an interview or a podcast or do something silly, let me know. You can email me, noonantimewithharold@gmail.com. I run an entertainment business called High Spirits Entertainment that does stand-up comedy, improv, trivia. I do weddings.
You officiate weddings?
Yeah, I officiate weddings. So I think that's everything.
That's awesome.
I always forget something when I'm hitting my handles.
Yeah. Well, you forgot about the secret book club.
The secret book club.
Yeah.
Right.
How do they get that? How do they get in that?
We find each other.
Oh, okay. It's an in-person interaction.
Yeah, we both are carrying a book and we're looking down on it. Then we bump into each other and we both look up and we're like, oh, sorry, I didn't see you there. Like, oh, sorry, I was just reading my book. And then we look and we both have the same book in our hands. And it turns in, then the romantic music starts playing. And then we kiss. So
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, we're crossing all kind of lines quickly.
and it's not like a gross kiss. It's like a forehead kiss.
Oh, okay.
Was that one of those like
have
one
to
more
define.
things that
Yeah, one
got
more
creepy?
thing, see?
Got
Yeah, it was
creepy.
creepy. You gotta try. You don't know if it's creepy or not. That's the thing. That's another thing.
Uh-huh.
You don't know until you say it if it was going to be creepy or charming. So,
That's awesome.
you gotta try stuff. Gotta try stuff and apologize when it was creepy. Not enough people apologize. That's another thing. I'm big on apologizing.
That's awesome, man. Well, yeah, man. Thanks for coming on. As always, y'all can reach out to us at masculinerevolution@gmail.com or just come up to us in person, man. We're around town.
Yeah,
Just
we
see
won't
us.
kiss you on your
I was
forehead.
about to say they probably don't have a book in there.
But yeah, until next time.
Join the family.
Yes, sir.
and dance to the music. I don't know what the sign off is.
That's it. Dance to the music.
Dance to the music, baby.